And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Wednesday, October 20th. I hope you guys have all had a wonderful day so far. As a couple housekeeping notes, just want to put out there, we will not be having a recap tomorrow afternoon. We have a company-wide meeting. We're all going down to the city, so I will not be here. So this will be the last time you see me here this week. Also, there have been some questions about the Limit Up podcast. Not to worry, it's coming back. Jack is out here right now. He just became a father, and so he'll be back soon. And our Thursday afternoon podcast recap, as you've noticed, has been a little bit different, and that's going to turn into the Limit Up podcast as well. So it'll be basically like a live podcast recorded every single week. So we'll talk here, and we'll put that up on the feed on the Limit Up podcast. So any thoughts or any topics you guys have, by all means, always bring them in. Jack and I will be diving in. We're going to bring more people into them too as we go. So it'll be a lot of fun, really exciting stuff. All right, today we got Tesla's earnings are coming in. So let's keep an eye on those. We love to watch these earnings. At least I do. Earnings are some of my favorite things to see every single week. Every single quarter. So if you guys see those come in and I miss them, please keep us posted so we can all see what happens with those. Today we got crude oil. Crude oil, we get a draw. Prices go higher. Open up this morning on yesterday's low. Actually sets up pretty nicely. A 2-day low. Open up there. We rally back. We stay set up for an inside day. We rally to the high side. We break out above that. And when we're drawing oil, we're reducing that supply. Fundamentally say prices should go higher. We have started to show acceptance up above $83. It really struggled for quite some time here today. Finally around 12:30 this morning, Central Time, maybe 1 o'clock, we got that push where it finally traded up above $83. So fill those gas cans now, lock it in while you can, because it continues to want to go. We got S&P 500 rallies this morning, opens up this morning, and we basically flatlined at 45.30, broke down a little bit throughout the rest of the day, where Nasdaq, on the other hand, was a big breakdown day, rotates lower, makes a nice move to the downside. Good opportunities there. We're going to take a look at that one closely here in a minute. Gold maintains overnight trend. Trend continues all day long here after that volatile equity open. Prior to equity open, that 8 o'clock move down, that 8:30 move up. I should just say that 8 o'clock move down when you guys were talking with John this morning. That was the big move. That was just a little relief in the rally. Market continued on trend there. Euro stays inside, and pretty much an extremely choppy day over there in the 10-year note. We'll take a look at those here in just a moment. I want to see everyone's comments and say hello to everyone. Subconscious, good to see you. Frederico, Jorg, Burl Investments, Burl's checking in. Good to see you. Hey, don't worry. We've all spelt our own name wrong. I'll tell you something. There's a funny story my family tells about when I was a younger kid. Kindergarten maybe. I don't remember. But you write birthday cards to your parents, right? So the teacher knew it was my dad's birthday. And I wrote, a happy birthday to my dad, a little happy birthday card, and I signed it, love, your son, Danny Hodgman. He didn't, because apparently he didn't know who his son was, and I had to clarify, and I spelt my name wrong. So we've all been there. Had a couple $100 loss today. Followed my strategy to a T, though, so I'm happy with my performance. Love that. I love that. Everyone take notes. Just because you lose money doesn't mean it's a bad day. This is trading, right? We're going to lose money. It's inevitable. It's a part of the process. If you can look at it and find the positives in what you did, if you stuck to the plan, you executed properly, and you know what? The system just wasn't there. Maybe you get caught in that chop this morning in the Nasdaq, right? All over the place. A very confused market. You got equities moving higher, yet somehow Nasdaq moving lower. Things aren't lining up. A little confusing. What do I expect here? What are my thoughts? And you're trying to trade to that. It gets a little tough. You get to a point where you got to say enough's enough, and you back out. That happens to all of us. All right, PK, good to see you. And Daryl Kimbo, good to see you as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at these charts here and see what we got going on here today. As always, we're going to start with our crude oil market. And here's what I was just saying. Market opens up this morning, sitting right on yesterday's value area low, right near our prior swing low. We get the head fake or that false breakout to the downside here this morning, right? We open up, we make that false breakout to the downside. We do have a visual target down below, unchecked point of control down here at 80.46, but we're not doing anything yet, right? What do we have coming out? 9:30 this morning. We know at 9:30 this morning, right here, we're getting a major number. These numbers are continuing to have a bigger effect because everyone's kind of sitting back waiting to see, are we going to get a boost to inventories and start to see this price go lower, or are we going to continue to see draws? So everyone's hesitant. You got to be patient there. You got to wait just a little bit. So I'm hoping no one got caught in this false breakout to the downside. Market rotates back inside. We start to get an opportunity. All right, we have a draw. So they're pulling supply that says price should go higher. I'm not jumping in right away. I'm waiting for this emotion to end. I'm waiting for my prime opportunity. And here's where we start to get it. And this is what I really liked. Market starts trading right at yesterday's value. Right at the high side of value from yesterday, 82.75. Market is trading there. I'm waiting to see here. Do I look for this to rotate back inside, or do I look for acceptance up above? We hit the wall a little bit, and maybe you take the initial short. Short doesn't really go anywhere, and then all of a sudden we start making higher lows. Market starts creeping higher. Boom, here is our chance to say, all right, I'm going to see if I can get this market to run through 83 and make a new weekly high. Does exactly that, takes off up to 83.50. So that to me was really a great opportunity. We're looking for that weakness and what we believe is going to be an uptrend based off of the information we're given. We wait for that pullback, we get that pullback, and the market rallies from there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. Like I said, this market opens up this morning, runs right up to 45.30. I'm brain fart there. Runs up to 45.30, two handles through, but that just becomes a wall all stinking day long. We move up, we break back down. We move up, we break down. We move up, we break down. We move up, we break down. Happens multiple times. Really a tight range here today. I don't have a whole lot to say. Maintaining trend, I guess you could say. We are creeping higher. Tough trade when the value of the day floats from 30 down to 22. You got an 8-handle range. You can get really caught in the chop unless you really were able to recognize these extremes relatively early. At least the high side extreme, you're able to recognize that one pretty early and say, anytime it gets up here, I'm going to look to see if it rotates back inside. Next, we've got the Nasdaq. Nasdaq looks a little different here than the S&P 500. This market. So yesterday we're looking at our trend, right? We're maintaining this trend, and we finally, last night, we traded below it. We accepted below that trend. Look for market state to slightly change. Market state does. We open up this morning, and we tried. Continuous rejection near yesterday's swing high. Moves up to 445, but this market rotates back inside. I wonder why. Well, we have a lot of tech earnings coming up. Next week, there's major tech earnings as well. So maybe we're starting to see a little bit of tapering as people are waiting for these tech earnings to start coming in. Market rotates lower. We get a little bit of reaction around settlement price. 15,398.5, 15,398.5 right here. Market gets reactive around it. Finally trades below. And this is what I love to see. Market starts to accept below those moving averages. When that happens, as we can see here, let's open this up for a better visual, right? As market finally, what I look for when I use these values or these moving averages here, right? When market's trading above those averages, I'm looking for the market to press higher. Once I start seeing continuous trade below and acceptance below, I'm looking for market to stay below. So now we get a chance. Market's pulling back. We look for our shorts up here, and we can start to run this down towards value low from yesterday. Market does really nicely there, so some good opportunity. Next, let's go ahead and look at our gold market. Now, we talk about this idea of drawing visuals, getting an idea of where everything's at. Why didn't that work? Here we go. All right, so let's look at where we were in the overnight session. Let's ignore what we got here, right? We're going to ignore all of that. Okay, so market opens up this morning. I want to create a visual here, so it's going to be tough to see for just a second. All right, so we're maintaining trend. We like this. We're holding up above this trend line. Market opens up this morning, and we get a strong directional move. Now we get a couple thoughts. We have unchecked point of control all the way up here at 1798.60, so pretty darn close to that big fat round number of 1800. So that's really the only target up above I can see if we hold above yesterday's regular trading hour range. So I'm going to be hesitant to be buying up here. I need to wait for market reversion back towards the mean, which would be our trend line here. I need to wait for market to come back to this area. Well, it comes back and through pretty darn quickly, but once we start to establish back in here, this is where we can start to look for an opportunity. I'm not seeing acceptance just yet, so I'm waiting for opportunity to see it hold back at the mean here and continue back on trend. And that's what we finally got right around 9 or 9:30 this morning. Finally held, continued directional move, and right here to me was an opportunity to buy. And oh, how about that? It tries to trade back into yesterday's value, tries to get down to yesterday's point of control, runs out of gas, reverts right back to direction. All right, next, let's look at the euro. Euro, like we said, stays inside here really nicely today, opens up outside of value, rotates back into value. Once we start to see acceptance inside value, I'm always looking for market to rotate back towards high side of value, which happens to be overnight high. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking to catch from here, right up here. I'm just looking to see if I can get one nice rotation low to high of value. That's all I'm looking for. Market continues through and comes and checks yesterday's regular trading hour high. But to me, it's acceptance inside, directional move. I'm starting to look right in here to see if I can go low to high. That's all I'm looking for, right? Once we accept inside range, here's our range. So we have our value. This is what we're looking at. We accept inside value. Once we accept inside value, I'm looking to see if I can continue to both sides of value. That's all I'm looking for. Super simple process. Key is managing your risk when you look for it. All right, next, we've got, last but not least, the 10-year note. Tight. Opens up this morning. We popped to yesterday's high, rotate back to yesterday's low multiple times throughout the day. 3 ticks up from center, 3 ticks down from center. Really tough trading here in a product that's had 1.6 million contracts traded today. So those are our markets here today. The big mover, though, the big one of the talk of the town, ETF launched yesterday on Bitcoin based off of the CME futures price. So people are getting an opportunity to buy, sending Bitcoin higher, $66,280 a coin right over there. Charles, hey, how are you, Charles? The VIX contract expired today. Always slight weakness on those days. Good note there. Seems like markets slow down as they approach all-time highs, very range bound. Absolutely. You've probably got a lot of people short near those highs. They're trying to compress it, hold it down. Also, moving into uncharted territory. Once you see acceptance in it, then everyone starts to scoop it up. But getting back up there is always tough. Summer trading at the moment. Hey, that'll happen. But also look at it. We had multiple % moves just 2 days ago. So it's like one day it's summer and the other day it's classic October. All right, let's see here. We got some stocks to look at. All right, Tesla. I haven't seen what happened with Tesla yet. Record revenue and profits in third quarter. How about that? Okay. Which has Tesla, it looks very volatile right now. Low to high, high to low, rotating all over the place. So let's look at some of our other stocks. We got Airbnb, another little bit of a down day. 169.76. GameStop, $184.52. AMC, $40.88. Tesla, I don't have much yet right now. It's saying right now about $8.55, down $10 in the last minute or so. Robinhood, $41.83. And VIX, pretty flatlined here today, $15.54. All right, see a question here. Norman, Dan, do you trade pullbacks or wait for price to hit a moving average? Yeah, I trade pullbacks, Norman. Moving average is just one of the many tools in the toolbox. I like moving averages. I think they create a great visual for us. I think it's a very talkable way to look at it. But yeah, I trade pullbacks. When I see opportunity, I do execute based off of it. Moving averages, I think, are just a really great indicator or area to look for opportunity. Market really helps with those. So definitely trade pullbacks, right? We look for reversion back to means. So you got VWAP is a great one. If you're range bound and you're away from VWAP, you're looking for reversion back to it. So maybe a pullback and you're looking to rip back to that VWAP or moving averages or that whole moving average. There's so many different ways to look at it. There's so many different styles of strategies and trades out there. It's really finding what works for you. And I think when we have a good visual cue to look at to help kind of reference and frame that stuff out, we'll take a look at it as best as possible. All right. Like we said today, we had crude number. We had a little draw there. Tomorrow, it's typical Thursday numbers, jobless claims, Philly Fed, existing home sales, leading indicators, and then natural gas at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Maybe we'll get a boost there, and we'll see gas prices come down before we get too close to winter. And then Friday, don't forget PMI composite. One more time, I will not be here tomorrow. There is not going to be a recap. We'll be in the city for work stuff. Number 2, podcast coming back soon. Thursday afternoon recaps. That's where it's basically going to be a live podcast, and then we'll be putting that out on our Limit Up feed. So exciting stuff with that. More engagement. So please, 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 everyone, come join us Thursday afternoons when Jack gets back. As some of you may have heard, he has recently become a father, so big shout out to him, and congratulations to Jack on that. He'll be back soon, and we'll get that Limit Up podcast going once again. So do I think Tesla can move markets tomorrow? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think it will? I don't know. But can it? Yeah, it's a big company. Almost $1 trillion company at this point, just shy, 856. I mean, it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So, we know Facebook can, we know Microsoft can, we know Amazon can. This definitely can. I think most the buying has been factored in, right? We already knew way ahead of time about a lot of information coming out of Tesla before these earnings. We've been known for the last week or so that they crushed their numbers. Everyone knew it. So in the last, let's just say here in the last month, that stock is up $130 a share over the last month. We had 16 million contracts traded, give or take. So definitely think a lot of stuff has been factored in already. Subconscious, how are you? Yes, Thursday afternoons during the recap. So it'll be 3 p.m. Central Time every Thursday. It's basically like a live podcast. So it'll be a lot of fun. I expect a ton of hard-hitting questions from everyone, so bring them on. And we're going to kind of call it a little happy hour type thing. Jack and I will sit down, have a beer. We'll chat with you guys. We'll bring people in. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. All right. Lastly, you know what I didn't do? I usually always prepare my this date in history, and I didn't. So let me do a quick update on my search, my query here. We'll get that going. But I do want to touch on tomorrow, earnings that are coming out tomorrow. And we'll touch on Friday again because I won't be here on Thursday. So tomorrow you got PayPal, Intel, AT&T, Chipotle, Barclays, Tractor Trailer Supply, American Airlines. So there's a few tomorrow. And then let me just pull up Friday. and Friday we got Honeywell, American Express. Those are our big ones. And Royal Caribbean Cruises, that'll be a good one. They're getting back to some sort of semblance on the cruise front, so maybe we'll see something with that. Okay, now my query should be run. Let's see, do we have a good this date in history yet? We're looking. Okay, this is a great one. 1973, the Sydney Opera House opened. We've all seen pictures of it. Maybe some of us even have gotten to join it. I haven't myself. That is on the bucket list of things to do. And that's what we got. Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign it out. John will be back tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. Give him a good heckle. Give him a hello. And one more time, no recap tomorrow afternoon. Cool. So that's what I got for us. So John will be back tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. Central Time. So until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. Look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.